Big up, and welcome to the Liverpool 12th Man Show. We are going to be doing a bunch of little stuff today because there is, I know there is the deadline today, the transfer deadline. Also, I did watch the game back. So I watched it over and broke it down a little bit for everyone. Some key places, key spots of the game, primarily because. Despite what some people might think, Bournemouth are a really good team, and they are one of the teams that have given us possibly one of the better, if not one of the best, fights that we've had to face in a hot minute in the league. So there's a bunch of stuff that did go down in this game that was really good, and also a little bit we're going to do some ratings. We're going to do some maybe some speak on some of the things, some of the transfer news and the like that's happening as we speak, as we approach the deadline. We are about 3 or 4 hours away. We're not going to go all the way to the deadline, but I will definitely update you if there's any big updates. I don't believe we'll have any updates on our parts, but possibly maybe one or two players, maybe a youth player here or there, if we get the right offer, might be leaving our team. So I hope that everyone's well out there. I hope everyone's doing great, actually. And I also hope that you'll stick with me for this entire ride of the show. And even if you do have other things, maybe even put it on the background, or at least have it on. That's the fact that you even have it on. It really makes me proud and appreciative. So big up to Red for Life. Big up to you. And if you want to say hello, definitely do so. If you can't, or driving or something, or if you're at work or something like that, definitely don't worry about it. Just sit back and enjoy the show. And I guess this is how we will begin it. There's a bunch of stuff, like I said, that I wanted to get into, but let me just make sure that I have all of this stuff ready for you. I know that we were possibly going to have some people joining us, but I don't know if I might be just solo today. So I did have some questions. So I'll ask you in the audience these questions that I have, and that is, excuse me. Liverpool was pretty much a really good team yesterday, but pretty much, when I say really good team, but pretty much a good display yesterday for the most part. I wouldn't say everyone was in their top form or radiating form, but I will also say that there were players out there that certainly were maybe a little bit looking to, like, I don't know, get back into the swing of things, I guess you could say, is the way I'm looking for it, the best way I can look for it. There are others that definitely showed up from the very gate, and big up Brian's with us. Big up, Brian. How are you doing? I saw you pop in.
All right, yeah, all good.
Good.
Sorry,
Big
I'm
up
late.
to, no worries. Big up to Cedric. Big up to Jimmy as well. Definitely. Whereas I was just about to start and get on some of these questions, or excuse me, some of the run of the show here. And I also was saying, just to start off, since you're joining us now, feel good moment for yesterday. Was there any feel good moment yesterday that you want to, like, make sure that we acknowledge?
Yesterday.
Yeah, or I meant Saturday.
Oh, yeah, no, just what I mentioned earlier on before. I think anytime you see David Brooks out on the pitch, contributing and playing, that will always be the feel good moment for me.
Mhm.
That so that guy beat cancer and he came back. So yeah, that one
Okay,
touches me. I know that much.
definitely. That is a humbling and positive moment for sure. Okay. Okay. Does anyone out in the audience have any of a feel good moment yesterday? Something that happened or something that went down? Maybe something that made you laugh. Maybe something that made you even like, what just happened there? This funny spots. If you did, you can definitely share them with us. Um,
Your head
but
scratcher moment. If it wasn't a feel good moment, what was your head scratcher moment, David?
yeah, because I put that in there because like yeah, the guy behind me had a little bit of a head scratcher moment, but it was okay. Yeah, he still played well. Other than that little bit of a you know brain lapse that he had with the drop ball situation.
Oh, there you go. That
Okay.
gravy twist. That little gravy twist in the middle, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. I like it. Let me bring this up too. There were some other things I was going to bring up. Give me 1 second here. I thought I had this ready, but there were some parts and points that I was going to bring up because there were definitely some cool situations. I'll tell you too as well. Yesterday, I think we got a little bit of a audition, and possibly even a reassurance. Excuse me. That we will most likely go into the summer window and possibly go in for a left back named Kirkez. I think that was possibly an audition yesterday for him, and I know that after the game, excuse me, after the game, we saw Sabasalai and him were like, there's some photos of them there were some selfies that they took. They're obviously good friends from the Hungarian national team, and it's very interesting that the play that we saw him perform last night was pretty decent. I mean, like as in, I will admit, I haven't been watching too much of Bournemouth this year, but I thought that he looked pretty good yesterday, and I don't know if he's necessarily like, you know, uh, hand over fist or whatever it's called, like as in like, if he's like, many steps ahead of Robbo at the current moment. I think that they're certainly level with each other right now, which is what I wouldn't have said that possibly last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or likes, but I definitely think that Kirkhouse is a talented player, and I think that if we were to go for that player, I think he would be a nice little addition that could supplement. I'm not saying that we get rid of Robbo. I'm saying that he could supplement our situation at left back. Um, with a player that could certainly grow into and be someone that could be a real addition to our team. Did you think the same, or did you think that because we did have Richard Hughes was there at the game, which is pretty interesting. That was at least very notable.
Uh, I just can't get past the David Lynch video that he did.
Oh, I didn't
He
see
was
that. What was the
talking
David
about,
Lynch one?
that's it was about a month and a half ago now, where he's kind of saying, there's a lot of talk about Kirkes, there's a lot of talk about Robinson.
Mhm,
He was saying, but that what he had been told was that what we were looking at in the left back position was someone who was more of a defender, like not an overlapping attacking left back like Robinson or Kirkes. More of,
mhm,
say, a Hincape or something. Like, he was just saying that's what I've been kind of told from, is that they're looking at someone on the right to be attacking, and at the left they're looking at bringing in someone who's more predominantly a defender, which he was saying was, to him, was ruling out Kirkes and Robinson. Now that's just what he was saying. Now,
mhm,
but that one sticks in my mind. But if he's incorrect, or they've changed their mind and they are looking for an attacking left back on the left,
mhm.
then yeah, definitely all day long. They they have a great left hand side. I think it's one of the reasons they're doing so well. Clivert drops out there. Kirk has big handful. It's a big part of what they're doing. So yeah, if you wanted someone like you'd be assuming basically a Simicast replacement almost. The next guy. You said instead of Simi and Robbo, you'd have Kirk as and Robbo because you wouldn't have Kirk as Simi and Robbo.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I think if they're talking 60, it's like, okay, so, it's a lot of money. If it's like we getting in there, maybe get him like the 38, 40 million. But if they have a good season, he's locked down and they can offer, they're saying no, it's 60 million. Then that's a big chunk of change as well. But yeah, yeah, in terms of what he does, very impressive. Very
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a really good game. I will actually. He had such a good game that I was gonna. I did. I'm gonna do a little bit of a pre-taped episode or something, and do a little breakdown on the player and um, uh, in particularly his play against us. Actually, so like that's at least something I'm looking to do this week. But I, I I enjoyed his play was pretty good yesterday. Uh, as Hyler just said right here, he said that also hello Hyler, but he said Slot admitted in the interview after the match that he had to change his tactics to subdue Kirkez. That's pretty impressive to him, and it's also it is certainly a promising, or at least a very nice compliment to say for the player and how he's like able to do what he needs to do on the pitch.
I think we can all agree it's highly unlikely that he would be at Bournemouth next season,
Yeah,
whether he's at
agreed.
Liverpool or not. I think it's highly unlikely. Anyway, like we speak before, left footers, left backs,
Mm-hmm.
they're 1 in 4. You can get there's 4 right backs for every one left back.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're good, you're gonna be in demand.
Yeah, yeah. There aren't the left back pool is not as deep as some people make it out to be. Certainly, I'll agree with that. Definitely. Um, Let me get this up too. So I did have a tactics breakdown, but before I go into the tactics breakdown, I will get into some of the other things. I'll get into some of these other things before we get into the tactical breakdown for you guys, because I am going to have to get some of the graphics reloaded. My the screen dropped on me. So yesterday, Mohamed Salah's was the match-winning performance for us. The man that had the brace. He definitely. I don't know if I would say it was a masterclass yesterday from Salah, but it was certainly Salah-esque in that he has his moments of brilliance, and when he has them, he certainly is able to perform to exceptional levels. Um, this is why he's one of our, is a key player on our team, if not one of the most important players on our team, certainly. But in your opinion, Brian, how important was Salah's contribution in securing our win yesterday? Like how does he and I will ask this too. How does he also compare to other Premier League um, key players on teams? I guess, and do you think that he right now is leading the race for Player of the Year?
Oh well, on that one, yeah. Player of the year, best player in Europe, maybe on form, Ballon d'Or, everything,
Mhm.
absolutely everything. Um, Form of his life, potentially, he's tracking his best season, and he's improving on it in certain metrics. Isn't as explosive looking, but in terms of yesterday, you could say I never go down there. Oh, if such and such was playing, something would have happened, or if he wasn't there, we wouldn't have scored. But he scored both goals.
Hmm.
He's come off a tiny little barren spell, maybe you'd almost call it by most standards, a little bit of a dry run by most standards.
Hmm.
But back in the groove, 2 goals, match winning performance, there when you need him, tucks away the penalty perfectly. And the second goal is, I mean, he scored that goal so many times now, cutting in on his left and bending it in top corner. We kind of almost see it as routine, but it's a fantastic goal. Yeah, I don't have enough superlatives for him. I said it from day one. Even if it is his last season, he's going to be the first person in on his last day and the last person out, even on his last day of work. He's going to be staying, he's going to be given 100% right until the final whistle of the final game. I think this is the first time we haven't talked about. I was going to say, like, which records did he break this weekend? Because every weekend now he's the first person to do this, or he's the first person. There's every weekend now. There's so kind of running out of superlatives for him. I've seen some good stuff out there um, in terms of what he's up to, and it's people are realizing now that he's having a very special season. Very, very special season. It's going under the radar because we're not as kind of rampant, maybe, but numbers wise, what he's doing right now is way up there, way up there. So I'm not going to say, oh, we wouldn't have won that game without him, but his contribution while when he was on the pitch was maximum. Yeah, that's what you want from him. That's Mo. That's why the boys look at the team sheet and go, "There's Mo." That's why we are where we are most of the time. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, just pray he stays fit, which he usually does, and keeps doing it, and see how many he gets at the end of the season because he's got some people in his sights numbers wise, but I think at least one more title for him. It's deserved. Someone like him to have only got one league title at Liverpool.
Hmm.
If he was to leave now, that would be unfair. That would be almost unconscionable. Someone that good. So yeah, two is more solid. That's a real. I got 2 leagues.
Hmm.
He deserves it for what he's done. The numbers he's put up. Look at all those numbers that those people put up. Shearer sticks out. Shearer went to Newcastle, so he never won anything, right?
Hmm.
But look at all those boys that put up those numbers. The Agueros, the Henrys, the Rooneys. They won titles. They
Hmm.
got like they have the titles to be able to say, yeah, I didn't just score goals. I won titles as well. Salah deserves, you know, at least he deserves to have two. I think when he leaves, and I think he get it this year. And he's determined, man. Guy is so driven. He is so driven.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I agree on that one. He is driven to perform, and he's driven to win. I think he likes obviously the ability to not only win and get closer towards silverware and the likes, but he also obviously enjoys a record here or there as well to be broken. So that definitely helps. One question though, with that said, should Liverpool be concerned about their attacking reliance on Salah, like as in, or is it just more of a sign of his brilliance, and we can just, we just have to appreciate that for what it is, and that he's just that player for us.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think it is what it is. Like, I think if he wasn't there, we would see more from what Cody stepping up a bit. But yeah, yeah, it just is what it is there. I think.
Hmm. It is what it. Okay. Some people keep saying, I know that I've heard the egals and the likes about, and others that often want to press and point about how it's Salah FC and the likes, something along those lines. That's why I was just wondering if you thought maybe that it was a concern, or maybe it was or is a concern for you. I don't. For me, I don't believe it is. To be honest with you.
It was at the start of the season when he was over, he was like at 70%. I was like, that's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable. But this is Mo Salah.
Hmm.
And if he keeps doing that for the rest of the season, it'll be happy days. But you did also need like you also needed other people to step up, and I think Cody has, and Dom
Mhm.
has. That's what I was saying about. It's like we just need people to not so much Dom. He hasn't exactly. It's not. I'm not gonna pretend he's scoring goals every weekend, but
Mhm.
Cody has stepped up. So we have. Yeah, I don't think it's an over reliance as such. I just think it's we have an overpowered player, if you know what I mean. If you look at the numbers, it would look like, oh, they're totally reliant on that Salah guy. But I don't think the reality is, you know, like Mike was saying, that Gakpo is 15. He stepped up to the plate as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, uh, it is hard. It'd be one of those interesting kind of people do it in football. Manager saves, like they'll take a player out of a team, they'll run that season 10 times, then they'll run the season 10 times with him in it. I think if we didn't have Salah, we'd be poor off. I don't know. I still think we'd be winning games, but no, not someone like him, man. You just kind of have to really appreciate when it's here, rather than think too much of it, which I was guilty of earlier in the season. I had to remind myself, but this is Mo. He's the
Right.
one player that probably can sustain this over a season.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That was one of my questions because I know that people definitely want to think that because we don't have certain things going on, as in having some dynamic striker that's scoring high, having high goal tallies, or um, uh, other options that are necessarily competing for the likes of him at the top of for the Golden Boot. People think, oh well, he's not. We need this or we need that, but yet, to the most part,
But
we haven't.
when wasn't that the case, Twafa? When hasn't he been our top scorer? Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
pretty much since he's come in, he's been the top guy every season, right? So this,
pretty much.
when you look at it like that, it's like, yeah, when did we have a striker that was scoring 5 or 6 more than Mo did?
Hmm.
Mo's always been our top guy. It's this season isn't new, really, is it? When you look at it, he's always been our main man.
Yeah, he has. I will admit that. I will admit that. And he's always been someone that despite us saying that, I guess you're going to rely on people like that, regardless of whether it is. I guess it's more of is an over reliance. I don't think we have an over reliance on him. By the way,
No, no.
I don't think so. He's just a brilliant player that that we're fortunate to have at the moment in our likes. So we just utilize it for what it is. Too.
Exactly. Just cherish it while you have it and make the most of it, and don't worry if it's is like we're almost saying, is he too good?
Right, right.
You're almost getting there. It's just, please, man, just run with it, let it roll. It's cool.
Yeah,
We're gonna miss this man when he's gone, so don't worry about him when he's here.
right, right. Very much so. Very much so. Um, Yesterday too. Let me bring up these things. I do have also here. Um, Yesterday too was Liverpool's obviously our defensive resilience. I called it the red wall. Okay, and that was something that I thought was good to see against a team that has been scoring, a team that was certainly in form, or going into this game was in one of the top forms in the Premier League. Um, but despite Bournemouth creating chances, which they did create, let's not get twisted. It's not like they didn't have opportunities. Excuse me. They created chances and hitting the woodwork twice. Um, we still managed to keep a clean sheet, and that's very important. I think very important. I will probably be doing the Super Bowl. Definitely, I certainly will be doing the team that I follow is in the Super Bowl, so certainly will be doing the Super Bowl this year.
Don't know if you
Um,
know Sean, but hello, Sean. Your new name to me, anyway. So hello, thanks, welcome to the channel. Nice to see
Definitely,
you.
good to see you. Good to see you. Um, and I was going to say, yesterday, how well did Virgil van Dijk and Kanate handle Bournemouth's attacking threats? Was it something that we just were fortunate and lucky, and or is it was and or was it something else that we were missing? I know maybe you might say Ali as being a portion of that equation, obviously, but but considering that, it's a couple of those shots I talked about hitting the woodwork, they're a couple maybe couple inches to the left or to the right, they might go in, but you're
Yeah.
talking about a different story.
Yeah, I think haven't had a chance to get back to it. To me, up from Coppish community, and yeah, go Eagles. Nice one, Sean. Nice one, man. Hope to see you back
Big
again.
up, big up.
Um, but they sent a lot of it down our left, our right. I mean, their left. I think it was a lot of it was Ebo's side. We did, yeah, we got tangled up a bit. I think by those boys, they had some fun, like you were talking about Kirkes. That was where they were doing their damage.
Hmm.
VVD does what VVD does. He just kind of he didn't have a huge amount to deal with. I think they kind of went around him. If I was a manager and I'm picking out individual battles where I think we can win something, I'm staying the hell away from Virgil van Dijk. I'm going
Hmm.
wide. I'm going at
Hmm.
Simi. I'm going at Trent. I'm going all around those boys, if at all possible. I'm not trying to go through the middle against Liverpool, Ebo and VVD. Nah,
Hmm.
go round that, man. Go round it. Get away from it. So get him dragged out. But yeah, another top class performance from the man. It doesn't get really mentioned because there's three deals. Virgil is the one that's also doesn't really know what his future is, but every single game week, top class performance, nine
Hmm.
out of ten every single week. Maybe
Hmm.
not performance, but professionalism, attitude, everything. He may not have his greatest game rate, but normally he's 7, 8, 9 out of 10. He's not letting it get to him.
Hmm.
He's probably had some very honest and open conversations with Arnie Slot, and they know, look, Verge, we're in this together now. What will be, will be. But you want to leave with a title? Because cool, so do I,
Hmm.
Mo, do you want to leave with a title? Trent, if you're going, do you want to leave with titles or do you want to leave in they finished fourth? Nah, man, let's go out on the biggest high we can go out on. All three of us together, wrapping up some medals. What will be, will be. And that takes huge levels of professionalism and maturity because we see it at other clubs. Like I said, these boys would be sitting in the stands because they'd have fallen out with the clubs. Or you have a Marcus Rashford scenario, or you have something like that. We
Excuse me.
have boys who are like, yeah, okay, cool. But by the way, I've got a job to do. I get paid to play football, and Liverpool pay me to do it. I'm going to do my fucking job.
Hmm.
That's it. But that's what this team I think will be remembered for, by me at least this season, will be just the ultra professionalism of it under a new manager. Having lost the Messiah, Klopp walks out the door. Oh, Liverpool is going to. Oh, Liverpool is finished now. Nah, no, these boys have stepped up. I think really they've really stepped up. And Virgil is the head of the queue. Virgil, definitely, man. Hard to replace that lad. Gonna be real hard to replace him.
I'll ask the question then that I asked on your show again, so that some of our audience here can hear the question. And do you think of it as more of bring latte into? Do you think of it as more of this is this Klopp's team still, or is this Slot's team in the sense? Has he adjusted it to be his own, or is it maybe even just a hybrid Klopp, like a hybrid Klopp? It's a Slot remix, I guess you could say. How about that of a Klopp?
Yeah, yeah.
Klopp.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, remix. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think remix is exactly the right way. I don't. Yeah, I would have if I thought that myself. Yeah, it is. It's just like it's it's a it's a Dutch remix, really, isn't it?
Dutch remix.
Yeah, it's
DJ
it's the
Slot.
same kind of music, but it's got a different beat to it. It's got a different BPM.
Okay.
The top BPM was 280. This is
Hmm.
140. This is, but it still has the same kind of killer hooks and beats to it. So I think it's definitely,
It's still got a beat you can dance to.
yeah. But you know what you're listening to. You know the song. You've heard it before, but it's a slightly different version of it,
Okay.
slowed down version maybe, but it's still got the yeah. It's definitely not his team, no. But is it? It's a team he would happily had. I'd like to. These are the ones. These are the questions we love to ask these managers. The real open questions,
Hmm.
where they'll give you the stock answer, blah blah
Hmm.
blah. But yeah, I don't think he would change. He's not looking at going, oh, I can't wait to get the scalpel out and get rid of 6 or 7 or 8 of these guys.
Right. Right.
No chance, no chance at all. He's like, damn, I've got a hell of a good squad here. I only need to do one or two, this or that,
Hmm.
and then
Excuse
it'll
me.
stand out. Which is what I want, which is what we should want. We should want to see his best version. We don't. We all said the worst thing he could come in and do was try and be another Klopp, because no one could be another Klopp. So just come
Yeah.
in and be your own man in every way. If stand or fall, if it works or if it fails, just come in and be your own man. Don't try and be a new Klopp, because people will see. So
See, they'll see
geez,
right
man,
through it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this guy has absolutely knocked it out of the park. Press conferences, interviews, everything, results. Do you know what I mean? I think he's
Yeah.
going home. He's pinching him. He's just checking, like, is this real? I knew I was good. He backed himself, but he's absolutely smashed everything. Everyone
Yeah.
loves him now. Press like him. Fans love him. Players love him. 6 months out, who would have thought you? Everyone's like this. The whole Liverpool now. My Klopp is gone.
Yeah.
Nah, not a bit of it. Not a bit of it.
Yeah. Agreed. 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 Nolante, welcome to the show.
That's it.
Oh, I think he might
Oh
be. Oh,
bloody
he's
hell!
with us. Yeah. Yeah. He's with us.
Another Tottenham defender out for the season. Jesus.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, Tottenham are having a hard time. Big of yourself, 12th. Brian, as always. And viewers to Cedric's, Marianne. I saw the meningitis thing, so big up Marianne for that, for putting in the chat for awareness. Abdul, yourself, everyone else, just big up. And yeah, man, we move and big up for jumping on some of you on Brian's stream here with us today for more Liverpool FC talk. Big up, everyone.
Big up for sure.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I said with these results, having only lost once, I'd still say yes. But obviously they are having a bad season. But I still think we will be first. Yeah.
Mhm. It would certainly be. It would be a lot tighter. There would be a
Yeah.
lot more chicken. There would be a lot more Chicken Littles. I'll tell you that much in our fan base. Um, but yeah, I think that we would have still the results that we have currently going on for ourselves. In that we would still be looking at first place in the table.
Oh, with
But
these results, yeah.
yeah,
One loss up until now. If we weren't, then you'd be, yeah. But no 11-point lead or 9-point lead or any of that stuff. No.
no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. It'd be a lot tighter race. It'd certainly be a lot tighter race. But considering what we saw yesterday for City, that's one thing I really thought that maybe they had turned the corner. Maybe they were going to be, really make a resurgence. Not saying that they won't win games going forward, as in they will certainly win games going forward, but they got a real humbling yesterday at the Emirates by Arsenal. And certainly was something a lot of us didn't expect, to be honest with you. So, but us this the same similar question to Nolante, and that is, and again in the chat, please tell us what you think as well. Do you think Do you think? Let me start this one by Marion. I think you might have put that up. I'll put it up right now. Do you think that with the success we're seeing, and hypothetically we ride this to the finish line, we get a title, we're doing our guard of honor at Chelsea at the bridge, you know, or something like that. It was already locked up. Do you think that this will have any impact on Klopp's legacy, negative impact on Klopp's legacy, that Slot was able to accomplish something that Klopp was only able to accomplish once? Because I truthfully think that I'll just put this little caveat. I truthfully think that when I heard this cheeky little question be poised on another channel, I understood what they were doing. I understand how they were trying to knock down Klopp a little bit and also give a little backhanded compliment to Slot. But I also think that if Klopp was still in charge, we would still be in first place, I believe, honestly. I honestly do think that we'd be fighting for we would still be fighting for a title right now. Because I think that especially considering the way that the form has gone for Arsenal and especially the form for City, I think that we would have been able to be in first place. But again, Nalante, I'm asking you the question: do you think this is going? If things were to happen the way, if the end of the season were to be tomorrow and we end up being in first place, would this be a knock on Klopp's legacy?
Look, I'll be real. Look, I can, in terms of judging it from Klopp's tenure from when he first come, from when he started, I feel that he could have done better and more. But at the same time, I think it's very hard. We've got to keep boundary. I think it's very harsh to say that, because at the end of the day, look where we are. Look where we were at October 2015. So that's this year will be what, 10 years, nearly 10 years where we were. We were a mess. We were just run down squad players all over there. Brendan lost the dressing room. Players left. Sterling, who was one of our main players, left City. And obviously he bought Bobby, so fair play to Brendan, but he wasn't using him right.
Oh,
And then
no,
Benteke, so yeah, he wasn't using him. Yeah, put him as a right-sided midfielder, and then Benteke, who I thought at the time would do a bit better, but it just wasn't happening. And yeah, so we had some good players, but there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of surgery to do. So I think it's very disingenuous to say that and just say that puts Klopp in the shade. No, he had to build a team from scratch to where the team is today. And as much as I have what I think of his legacy, at the end of the day, regardless of what I think, he's won every trophy, and if it wasn't for certain things we should have put on the line, but it wasn't for City's consistency, then we have a different conversation. And look, he's got the squad now that is a very, very good squad, a very experienced squad with a well-earned squad. And Slot, so Slot was never going to struggle in the terms of we'd be 6th or 7th, but no one could have expected it. So no, I would not say that diminishing his legacy. His legacy is there for life. What we're looking now is for Slot to take it to a next level. That's what we're looking for.
Well put. Well put. Very well put. Yeah, I heard the question asked, and the Liverpool supporter that it was asked of kind of was, he brought up this about City. He brought up about Arsenal, like how they were doing this or doing that, and he was bringing up all these different little context portions of the answer. But he was being asked by excuse me, he was being asked by a Forest supporter was the person that initiated the question, and then it was being kind of gaslit by a Arsenal supporter on the side that wouldn't really allow for him to truly give his answer and really get the context that was necessary for it to be, because I think there is context to be brought in to a lot of it. And I think what Sean said too is very, very poignant too, in that the team that was left to Klopp, I mean, if you look at that 2015 team, that was certainly the fact that he even made it to a Europa final and to I think we made it to a League Cup final as well, I believe, right? Was it League Cup or FA Cup? It was League Cup, I believe, in this first year.
League Cup. Yeah, League Cup in Europa.
Yeah, and the fact that we made it to just to make it there with the team that we had, and he did the same thing that we see Slot doing currently. That is, and one big difference is Klopp didn't have a a spring training, if you want, or not spring, or like a summer training or a preseason. He didn't have that leniency. He took over in October, few games into the season, and even during the January window, didn't make any acquisitions. Was just focused on allowing for that team to really get a proper evaluation by him to see what he was going to do and what he was going to work with, and he made the most of it. But yet the difference is with Slot and Klopp, or the transition from Klopp to Slot, was this team was a team that was competing and previously competed for 2 quads, or was in the pursuit of 2 quads at one time, and also was a team that had won titles, had gone through the wire, and was a team that was certainly set up for real brilliance. And the slight tweak, albeit we did play a 4-2-3-1 with Klopp at times. I know 4-3-3 was the primary formation that you saw from Klopp, but I believe even in that first year we actually did play sometimes a 4-2-3-1 in sometimes our settings. So we did have some.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, no worries.
Did you even realize I was gone? You probably didn't even realize I was gone. Okay.
No. Well, yeah, I didn't see you put yourself on mute. That's what I normally. Yeah. Plus, it was just Nolante and I speaking on the transition from Klopp to Slot, and how Klopp had much more, as Nolante said, had much more surgery to do when he did get that first summer to do it in.
Yeah.
He didn't, by him being a late entry, or being someone that joined the team in October, he didn't have the fortune of a summer window. He didn't have, and then when the January window came, by that time he was to the point where he still, he stuck to his guns and just gave everyone a proper evaluation.
Yeah, all he did in that January was he bought Grujic.
Mm-hmm.
From Red Star Belgrade, but he left him
He
there.
he didn't even come. Yeah, he went straight.
And then he brought in Stephen Coker. Yeah, he brought in Stephen Coker on loan, but so he came in. But yeah, that was it. So basically, in between joining and his first summer, all he did was Coker on loan, basically. Yeah,
right.
That Brendan team, it did need a lot of surgery, and he didn't do any at all. So yeah, he had a huge rebuilding job on his hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Calker as a false 9, Sean is saying.
Oh, God. We'll never forget. We will never. Do you remember when we put him up front? Do you remember that game when we put him up front? It was the cup game. He threw him up front. Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't lie. That West Brom 2-2 where he celebrated, I didn't like that. I thought that was a bit embarrassing, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. I was speaking on defense, and we were talking about Liverpool's defense yesterday against Bournemouth, the Bournemouth team that is very, very good, by the way. So good that their XGA was the second highest XGA against us by any Premier League opponent. You'd be surprised too, as in what their I was surprised by the number that it ended up being, and it being like the second best, actual threat, the most second most threatening team that we've faced in this Prem so far. And why I say it that way is because we've had quite a few games already. You most likely know who the number one team was against us. I'll give you guys a shot to guess if you want. Who would you think would be the number one team that's performed against us in the Prem?
Arsenal.
Who? In the Prem.
Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who would be your guess, Brian?
Manchester City.
Manchester City, yeah. You would have thought that, right? That's what I would have thought naturally too. Arsenal, Manchester City, United. That's funny. Now Sean's dropping jokes. But I'm talking about XGA. That's what I'm talking about.
XGA.
Oh, right.
Sorry. I thought you meant like
XGA, XG, and XGA. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Nalanta. Yeah.
You
Is
guys
it Bournemouth now? From yesterday, Bournemouth?
Bournemouth was the second.
Okay, there's someone more than that.
There's one team that was above obviously Bournemouth in first place.
We'll go for it, Brian.
I would say Spurs.
Spurs?
Good guess.
It's a good guess. It was not Spurs, though.
Oh, against Southampton?
It was not Southampton either. No, it was Newcastle.
Oh, so it's this season. Oh, sorry. The question I was answering was team that's done the best against us over like years. Okay, so the highest.
Oh no, I'm talking about this season. I'm talking about this season. Prem.
This season, yeah.
Yeah.
Newcastle. Okay.
Yeah, this
season.
season.
3-3, I assume.
Exactly. That one was a real big difference maker for the XG, because all their goals were like, there was no penalty goals in there, and they're all like high opportunity goals.
Oh, okay. Newcastle. Why, man?
He goes, why does this surprise you? Bournemouth had really done a job lately on Newcastle and Nottingham, and made better results than we did. One of the best informed teams in the Prem. Why I say it's the only reason I'm saying it's surprising is because it's Bournemouth, and we're not speaking on the teams that were just mentioned, like Arsenal, even like a City. I understand City is definitely not in the form that they're normally in, but if you were to ask that question normally to just the average average fan out there, they probably would say the bigger name clubs. That's why I put it that way. Not the team with the 11,000 person stadium. You probably would think of those teams, and maybe even like your Spurs or like as well as putting in there, considering Spurs for a little while at least were a very highly offensive team. But yeah, it was just interesting. Yeah, Bournemouth is provided the second most against us. So I also noticed too, though, in this game, and it's something of an interesting thing too, that I get that we were talking about the opportunities they had, but at the very same time, we had our own opportunities as well in this game. We definitely had our own opportunities, but again, we saw Liverpool's defense step up, I think, yesterday. I think they stepped up. It definitely was, a little troubling to see Trent go down. We're going to speak about that in a second. That's a segment coming up. But I was going to ask this to the panel, ask this to the chat as well. Being that we were facing against Bournemouth yesterday, a team that, as Hyler just put out for us as well, is a team that's well informed, a team that played well against Newcastle, a team that obviously played well against us. played well against Forest to put up 5 against Forest, a team that we somewhat struggled to get some type of result against. With that said, do you think Liverpool's defensive stability is good enough to sustain a real title challenge? Or do we need to really focus in on how to reinforce our defense for this title charge? I'll ask that to Brian and then to Nolante.
Well, we've got 3 hours left if we want to.
Mm-hmm.
4 hours left if we want to.
Right, exactly.
So if Gomez comes back, VVD and Ibu stay fit, we're cool. I think we're just about okay, but yeah, I don't want to jinx it. We're still not even into February. We're not only just into February. So right now, as we stand, yes, we can sustain this because we can do the. Jeez, but yeah, getting deeper in these competitions now. So yeah, it is going to be. We are going to be very reliant on a fit Ibu and a fit VBD to hold it down. And then Gomez being fit is really important because he covers so many options. If we can keep them 3, then I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we don't have a surfeit of centre halves just sitting there on the bench, unhappy players. But then we also don't have backup either. So that's the tightrope you walk.
Mm-hmm.
But our first Kwanzaa, Gomez, Ibu, VBD, if they're all fit for the rest of the season, yeah, we'll be fine because then we can deal with Bradley and Simi if Robbo or Trent need to miss games. I think Gomez is key though.
Yes, I agree. Nolante?
Yeah, nice of Brian to say Gomez is key. I like the word he's key. You got the keys. But look, I agree with Brian. If all 4 of them are fit and no injuries, then that's enough for me to win this title. For me, just pretty simple as if all 4 of them are fit to the end of the season, that should be enough to win the title. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I get that too. I get Grav being one of our main guys this year. There's those out there that didn't necessarily think that he was fitting in or was a player that we would be able to utilize or a player that was even worthy of putting on the red kit, some people thought. But Grav is a player that everyone on the panel here, and I know a good majority of the people, at least I can speak for some of the people in the chat, were very high on, and a player that has certainly he's performed in a role that not many people necessarily thought he would be able to perform in. I was someone that put out there that I wanted to see him as a 6 or possibly see what we would get out of him from being a 6, actually. I'm glad to see that it panned out to be some great returns. And I'm glad to see that his defensive output or his ability on defense is even better than I actually had the ideas or expectations on. I didn't expect him to be really this good at some of his defense. He's utilized some of his athleticism to be able to, take away, make interceptions, be able to have recoveries and the likes, and fill in. I mean, we've seen him fill in as a center half actually, and for that was something of a surprise to see. But I get that it's a slight surprise because he is a Dutch player, and a lot of Dutch players are able to play in so many different roles on the pitch. They learn so many different concepts of the game. So that helps what Sean was saying. His football IQ is certainly going to be a
He
little bit
said it
higher.
there. Yeah.
You definitely K-Mac, write that one down and remember that one. But all the same, K-Mac, friend of the show and a fellow Red here. but again, we had some differences on some of the approaches that we saw in there in the game. I think one thing that's unique, and I'll bring up this segment as well real quick. I'll do a quick little tactical breakdown a little bit because yesterday, what was very interesting to me is that we do these, what I like to call these pyramids or these triangles, or however you want to reference it. And what I mean by the pyramids and triangles that I'm speaking on, it's that you have a case where you have, make sure I bring the slideshow up. You have a place in time where you have your front three and you have your midfield, and they kind of form like spears almost at times, but they can rotate, they can move, they can flex and form to create pressure on whatever portion of the pitch that the ball is going to. We tend to see our right side be targeted, and that's primarily because Trent is going to be an attacking form more often than not, and also because this coach, as opposed to Klopp before him, has and Klopp did it towards the end. Klopp started to do it anyway, so I'm not going to say that Klopp hasn't done this with Salah, but Klopp, Slot has told Salah basically that he isn't going to have to be so dialed in defensively, and because so, it creates some types of, at times, gaps or some types of areas of the pitch that teams will tend to target. So what I mean by this is this. Let me bring up this here. And this is brings full screen. So what it was yesterday is, this is from, for instance, this is during the Spurs matchup. And what I mean by these triangles or these pyramids, as I like to call them, you can see how, let me see, make sure my pointer is there. I can see my pointer. You can see the triangle right here, and you can see even the front triangle right here. There's always going to be like these little triangles that are going to try to be able to pressure the ball and provide us some type of counter press. Now, there was a particular portion of the game that I thought was very interesting. There's a couple of instances. There's another instance as well in the first half as well. Excuse me, but I'm going to key in on the second half, this particular set of run in the game. And that was in the 74th minute. They were attacking, which was something that they did quite a bit of yesterday. And in this attack, you actually saw that, there, you can see Ibu right there pushing in. You see Connor coming back. You see that, if anything, a little bit of that, again, that triangle around the player that's about to try to at least get the pressure and trap and take away the ball. What happens is, and I believe this is Kirkez that has the ball here. Excuse me. Because he was doing lots of left-handed overlaps in this game. And here you can see that he was about to get set up. He tries to cut in. It's deflected. And what's great about this is that you can see here Christie, Curtis Jones, Dominic is the person that actually got the ball and was able to give the pass away to Nunez, right? But why I'm bringing this part and pointing up of the game is it's a key part of the game, okay? This key part is when the ball was recovered by us, what you can see here is you can see Nunez, you can see Lucho on the right as well. What was unique in this opportunity is that you could also see Jones and Christie as well. What was unique in this opportunity was, and I believe this pass was from Curtis Jones. When Jones got the ball to Nunez, the Bournemouth player automatically assumed that he would probably be pushing out wide, going to Jones. He bit a little bit, but what was great is that Nunez made the run and went into space and was able to receive the ball from Jones. When that happened, immediately you saw what I like to see as well, which is when Nunez is playing in our striker position, and we do have the unique pace and speed of Lucho. You had Lucho just get on his bike. You can see right here, he's already beating his man. Nunez has the ball. He sees up front that's an easy, he's already in his mind knowing, get it to Lucho. So this is unique in that this transfer or this transition was important. By the time we are well into this transition, Bournemouth has, as you can see, 5 men back. But what was unique about this again is that Nunez in the middle, again, doing one of those intangibles that I like to say one of those intangibles I like to point out, is making the run. He pulls the defense, taking his man away from him, providing even more space. Jones, though, and if you do real quick, I'll just rewind this real quick. Notice here, too, Jones is behind. That is Christie right here next to him, okay? That was early in the play. Obviously, 73-58, right? And this is only like 8 seconds later, basically. But what's unique is you see Jones got on his bike, ready to get into the attack, and he's already, you can see the distance that he's created behind Christie, who was in front of him initially, okay? But he was so committed to getting a part of this counter, which is great. I love the fact that our team is quick to counter, quick to react and press. And despite them having 5 men back, they had 5 guys back, as you can see. With that run by Nunez, with Lucho pushing out wide, you can see Salah on the right as well. But Jones coming in the way he's coming in here with the play, he's able to receive the ball and able to find Salah easily. And thus we created the goal from this. Kirkez maybe should have done a little better job against Salah, but all the same, it was a very impressive shot by Salah in this case, and he ended up absolutely slotting it through. That was our second goal. And it was why I'm bringing this points up is that, one, I like the fact that Jones was fully committed, was fully engaged in being a part of the attack. He didn't just, hamper back or just like kind of watch the play develop. He was proactive to be a part of the play as well. I like the fact that Nunez was there to be able to obviously help create the initial surge of the attack, but also continue to do his runs. Things I would like to see a little bit more. You could see possibly that he could have Jones might have been able to push it in. Excuse me, put a through ball in for him, but considering there was 2 defenders there, he was very smart to hold on to it and be able to push on into Salah for the better option. Excuse me. And this is what was a real big difference for us yesterday. And why I'm saying it was a big difference in that these kinds of attacks are what were the difference. This was a game, and I'm going to bring up this one too. This was a game where you can see this is Opta analysis. This was basically how yesterday looked in momentum. You can see they had a lot of momentum in the very opening parts. Bournemouth did a lot of momentum, obviously, in the opening portion of the second half. But primarily, we kept a very decent amount of pressure and momentum ourselves throughout the entire game. And you can see right there, it shows where the goals occurred as well, with some of the momentum. And then one of our goals did occur, obviously, in a portion of the game where it wasn't necessarily we had the momentum at the moment. It was on a counter. So that's why if you look at it, it looks like Bournemouth had the momentum, but we had a quick counter to create that Cody Hackbo run into the box that we end up getting the penalty off of. But other than that, they had they had two big surges, and other than that, it was primarily us. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't a situation where they didn't have their ability to do things against us, because like I spoke on, if you take away the XG for us yesterday was 2.5 to 1.9, but their XGA was or 2.5 for them, but 1.6. Our XG was 1.9. 1.7, excuse me, 1.7 to 1.6. So it was a very tight matchup yesterday when it came to what you look at. Excuse my throat is super dry. It was a tight matchup when it comes to what was expected to be the scoring result. I know that it might have, if you look at the result, 2-0 sounds like a very heightened result for us. But again, if you were to take away that the penalty that we got, then obviously that brings down the XG for us, because I believe the XG was 2.5 originally, but that was just XG. The actual XG with non-penalty XG was 1.7. So that's more realistic. It was a lot tighter of a game. Could have been more of like a 2-2 draw, possibly. I know I saw Sean was making comments about how, we were fortunate that it hit the woodwork. I get that and understand that. There are portions of the game, too, that we possibly could have scored goals off of as well. There was a Dominic Szoboszlai shot that probably should have been better taken on by Dom, who had a decent game. Not a great game, but decent game yesterday. And there were other portions of the game of our attack that we could have possibly scored on, but we didn't have the means to do so. So that is what it is. And if ifs were a fifth, we'd all be drunk, I guess. So, it is what it is. Definitely. Okay. I'm just seeing some of the comments being made. So those were certain things of the game, though, I wanted to at least press out and everything. One of the portions of the game, again, we saw Connor Bradley be a part of this game, someone that we're going to have to rely on most likely for Thursdays. I believe it's Thursday that we have our game, right? I believe Thursday is the League Cup matchup. And it was, Connor Bradley that was subbed in for Trent. There is an injury update, or at least a little slight injury update, and that was given by Slot in the presser. But it wasn't, a precise date or a precise analysis of what he's going to be faced with tomorrow or for this week. But what he had to say was Trent Alexander was obviously substituted in the 70th minute after signaling for some discomfort. It's expected to be a muscle injury, our manager said, and he expressed doubts about his availability for our upcoming Carabao Cup semifinal against Tottenham, stating he said, quote, "I would be surprised if he plays on Thursday." My question to you guys in the chat, and I'm going to bring the panel back into this as well. How much will Trent's absence impact our upcoming fixtures? And in particular, how much will it impact the Carabao Cup semifinal? Volante, I'm going to ask you that question.
Well, like anything, any first team play, it will impact us to a little bit in terms of the attacking sense, but I personally think we'll be fine without him. for the next month, or again, it depends on how long the injury. But for the next couple of games, I think we'll be fine without him. We just missed the attacking side of things with Trent, what he does. But I think we cope without him.
Okay. Okay. Brian, do you have an opinion on it?
Mm, Well, if he plays like he did for portions of the Bournemouth game, we won't miss him at all. Uh, if he plays like the Trent that played against what was the previous game where he was on fire and he put in that beautiful assist, if he plays like that, we will miss him. I just think Bradley is a happy medium. I think Bradley's a solid player, but you'll miss the best of Trent in moments, key moments maybe. But he didn't have a great game defensively either. So I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if he would have started that Cup game. It's hard to know now with Slot. I was thinking he'd go kind of full rotation the whole way, but he didn't the last time. It's hard to know whether he would have started that game or not.
Mm,
Bradley's an able deputy, but you don't lose a player like Trent without missing him
mhm,
eventually.
mhm,
For all the look, every player has strengths and weaknesses. Every player. Trent has them too. But he's a key part of, especially when we're turning it quickly on the break. The VVD can play that long pass to Mo out wide. It's something we've almost built a team on that to a
mhm,
degree. But nobody can play that ball from the back like Trent either. That ball over the top not that long ago for Mo, basically a pass from a right back, which basically just go and finish that, mate. There's only about two or three players in the world that could even attempt that kind of pass. So yeah, I don't mind him being out for a couple of games. So we can deal with it. Bradley, blah blah blah. But no, no, as much as he can infuriate, he exhilarates. I've said it from day one. Trent is a problem and a solution. He's a problem and a solution. He will always be that. Trent will always be an enigma. He'll have good games and he'll have amazing games, and you'll forget about all the bad stuff. So I want him here, though. I want him here.
okay.
Bradley hasn't been as good as he was when he came in. Bradley's been
Oh,
good, but he when he came in, it was far too much. He got like a couple of goals and assists. People are like, wow, this guy's the next. No, let's dial it back a little bit. But he's played much more within himself a little bit. So maybe a run of 3 or 4 games in the team might get his standard back up. He might start taking shots again and trying things again. I
well,
think he's
I was
trying to
just gonna,
impress team
yeah.
manager.
So that's what I was thinking as well. I think that it. I'll ask this question. I have an opinion on this question too, but um, can Connor Bradley step up as a reliable replacement? Do you think then for us, and how do you think his inclusion changes up our attack and defense,
Yeah,
Brian?
that's a
Or
to me.
I'll
Oh,
do, yeah. I'll
yeah,
ask you,
go
and then
ahead.
I'll just, yeah. We'll go reverse order here.
Okay, yeah, he changes it. He makes us more solid. He makes us more sort of, what would the word be? Just more orthodox in our setup. And it probably puts focus elsewhere. It does take away. There's gains, there's takes, and there's gains and there's losses. You just lose that X factor of a trend who can just go ping, and next thing you know, he's just put someone in from 50 yards away that nobody else saw and nobody else could do. X factor. It's just, oh, what about this? What about, look, a guy like Trent? He can just do things that other people won't or can't. We can't expect Bradley to do that. All you can
Mhm.
expect Bradley is come in and be a right back. Attack when you know, don't expect him to do what Trent does. But yeah, so what does it change? Yeah, obviously he won't go into midfield and do it the way Trent does. He moves in, but I think it would probably put a shift in focus, maybe. Yeah, yeah. It will be different. It is, but I'm confident in Bradley. I am confident, but also you just can't get away from. There's a reason Real Madrid want this kid. There's a reason everybody wants this guy. And we saw it the other day. That walk and assist. you'd probably never do one better than that aesthetically, where he curls it in for Gakpo. That's what you get with Trent. Walks onto a ball, pings in one of the best crosses you'll ever see, just keeps walking. Gakpo nods it in. That's Trent. Can't replace that with Bradley. No. But look, what is it? The next three. Tottenham, just say it's three for Trent. Is that what we're thinking?
3 games,
Worst
you mean?
case scenario? Is that what we're thinking? Is that what we're saying next 3 games? So that'd be Tottenham.
Oh, I don't know if it's next. He said he's not. He says he'd be surprised if he plays on Thursday. That's what Arnie said.
Yeah.
But
okay. No, look, I'm cool with Bradley. I'm cool with it.
How about for you, Nalante? Do you believe? Are you confident that Bradley can step up and be a reliable replacement for our normal starting right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold? And how do you think our attack and defense changes up with him not in it?
The easy answer is yes. He's proved himself last season, and there's certain games, cup games, even before the season before, you could see, and he's had the experience on loan with Bolton, which he was, play of the season. He's a captain. He's a captain. He's international team. I know, obviously, Northern Ireland. Obviously, he's not in big team at 19 or 20. You're captain of your national team. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. So yeah, I've got no problem. He can step up, and yes, as Brian said, attacking wise, he can't do it like Trent, but he can give an outlet on the right. He does put it, and his passing is, I think, slept on. Though he needs to improve it. There was an assist he done against Real Madrid to set up McAllister. I think his passing game is very, very slept on when he wants to. Will be more solid, and he might not have the pace of a Kyle Walker, but he'll be more solid, more resolute. So he'll be fine inch and inch to get that ball back. So yeah.
Well, yesterday also our midfield performance and control was at times hit or miss, but I believe our trio of obviously Grav, Mac, and Dom controlled possession for the most part. But again, we certainly saw them face their moments of Bournemouth pressure. And I was going to ask you, Nalante, how effective do you think our midfield was in dictating play yesterday? And who stood out the most for you in that game yesterday, or Saturday, I should say? I keep saying yesterday, I mean Saturday.
I think the game did dictate at certain points, 20 minutes here, there. But when Bournemouth were on top, they were on top. But I think Bournemouth, I guess, more on the wings, especially on the right hand side, which I don't think Trent or Konate covered themselves in glory, if I'm honest. But at times, we kind of got counter-attacked ourselves, the counter to the counter. But in terms of that, most times we controlled the well. I think with Dom, Grav, and Mac, I think the thing is they're all different players and different attributes, but they can all do a job in terms they can attack, they can defend, they can pass and bring the ball forward if needs be. So, run the ball, bring it from defense or to an attack in different ways. In terms of who I was impressed with, who I'm going to say, Gravy. Gravy. I mean, listen, this guy, he just needs to score a goal. I don't want him to finish this league season without a goal. Honestly, I mean, that when you had 3 man on him and that Zidane turn, and then just to get the ball moving was class. And and they do interchange. I think, like I said, they all can do a job. All 3 of them in defense and attacking wise, but they all pave the ball in different ways, and they all bring different attributes, which kind of helps us. And the midfield, I know some of the wingers / forwards were drying up. The midfield took control of the game. They were stepping up for us big time. And we're going to need more of them from the end of the season. Not just them. We need the Endos, the Curtis, who had a great substitute role. I think it was brilliant when he came on. Really, really, controlled the game and just what does Curtis done. So I just think the midfielder complement each other. They all can do the same thing. They just do it in a different way, which helps the team and it proceeds the feud forward. And Grav, like you said, man, like I said, it's not a surprise to me with Grav. I mean, I've been watching him since Ajax when he was 16. He was I think he won the Golden Ball. I might be wrong. The Golden Ball for the best player in Europe under 21. And again, the
Golden
Dutch,
boy.
yeah. And the Dutch mentality, again, like you said, 12, the IQ, they can play in multiple positions. They're not trained for just one side, you know. He has played as a number 6 as Ajax, and we know that's not really his natural position technically, but it's a breath of fresh air. And like I said, him, Mac, Sob, or whoever it is, long may it continue. Long may it continue, I say.
Yeah. I mean, there are players that have not necessarily, that wasn't their initial position to play, but then, they give it a run. They end up doing well. Their talents certainly bring out some of the best qualities that they have, or their best qualities that you need on the pitch. And that's what we've seen a bunch of for it when it comes to Grav.
I have a wild card shout. Like if the question is who controls that midfield the best,
Mhm.
I would say Tyler Adams.
Okay.
I think he was determined to say, "This is my house. This is my pitch. You're not going to come here and tell me what to do. I'm going to dominate. I don't care for the." To me, he was like, "Okay, this guy is getting stuck in."
Yeah.
Fair, hard, old, but it's like that's what when you're a small team coming up against a bigger team, the fans will love that. Even if they got bet 2-0, they will look at Tyler Adams, all those tactics. They will love that. I thought he was great yesterday. I was really impressed, man.
Mm.
Just that's what you need when you're a small. Because if you don't have guys like that, you get bet 5. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're going to win, but if you don't have guys like him that are committed, they're going to work hard. You get steamrollers, you get run over, you get humiliated at home. When you got guys like him, Kluivert, Semenyo, these guys are like that Semenyo guy. Do you remember when he tracked back against Mo Salah? Mo Salah beat him. He tracks back. He wins. I mean, just work, 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 work. So we can see why they are. But I was genuinely impressed by Tyler Adams yesterday. I thought he was. That's what you need in a team like that. Will he go to a Bayern? Will he play for Real Madrid? But in a team like that, yeah, that's what you need. So he gave us an uncomfortable afternoon, without a doubt. But he has a bit of quality as well. You can see.
Okay.
Because I didn't think any of our mids stood out. I thought all of our mids were kind of like had a 7 out of 10 game. I don't think any of them really like Grav does. What Grav does is incredible because do you remember when he was on the right of the box late on in the game? It was like 77 minutes, something like that. He had a chance and he was on the right hand side of the box where Mo should be. And he cut in and he does a little shimmy and he takes a shot. What's he doing up there? Do you know what I mean? It's like the kid is not a DM. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's playing as a holding midfielder, but it's the amount of times you see him up in a advanced position. It's crazy. He doesn't just sit there. I can't remember how late it was, but I looked up and had to check that was Gravenberch. He
Yeah, it
cuts
was
in and
crazy.
takes a shot. Yeah, and he playing basically in Mo's position because he saw the space, ran into it on a break. He doesn't just sit there and mop up. I won't pass the halfway line. That's why I think his future is further ahead. Like I'd love to see him in like a box to box 8 position for us. I think you'd get an even better version of Gravenberch then if we brought in someone else and they sat in behind him and he played in the 8. I think that is his kind of preferred position. But the guy has so much quality. Crazy. So just the way he popped up in that position, he did that little shimmy, sells a defender, defender's gone, pops a shot off, nearly scores a goal. So yeah, he's not some Rodri, he's not some guy who just sits there and holds and doesn't do anything, tackle and pass. He gets involved. So,
Yeah,
you know, if it wasn't for Salah, he's our player of the year, I think.
yeah.
If it
I
wasn't for
it's
Mo
you
Salah, he's
know
our player of the year.
what's unique about Grav, aka Gravy, is the sheer fact that even though he does not have any goals for this year, um, there are those out there that would say he could be a candidate for Player of the Year. That says quite a bit. I mean, goals are a
Yeah.
currency. Goals and assists are certainly currency, but it's showing that his ability to be involved, his ability to get, um, be able to start attacks, to be able to recover, to play out of position, all the different things that he's done for this team are being acknowledged, and it's good. That's really great to see by not just us in our little red universe or red verse, also by pundits out there as well. They are certainly remarking about how he is an exceptional player and how much of a difference of a player he is for our team. So,
Yeah, for GA for him in that role, it's irrelevant to me. That would be just kind of cherry on top. But I've said that before. He can get into positions,
mhm.
but I just seen that Dizazi. I knew Villa weren't finished, and Dizazi, Tottenham were trying to get him. The loan chuck. Someone must have sent me wrong earlier because they said now that Joe Felix had been loaned out, Chelsea couldn't loan out any more players because they'd hit their limit. That was obviously incorrect
I guess it
because
was.
they've
I heard
since
a somewhat similar like quote as well.
yeah, yeah, but they've since loaned out Chukwuemeka to Dortmund, which was
Yep.
the one that was looking to go through, and the Zazi who Tottenham were trying to get
Yeah,
has now
he
gone
didn't
to
want to
Villa.
go there. That's interesting
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Chelsea didn't want him to go to Villa as the potential Champions League rival for the fourth spot, Champions League places. So interesting, they've kind of allowed him.
yeah. It's yeah. What have we got? Yeah, I could see one or two more going through, but yeah, I knew there'd be some late ones. Villa weren't finished. That'll be a bit of a kick in the balls for Tottenham. They really because Dragusin now is just out for the season as well, and he was one of their backup centre halves. Okay, just shows you.
Well, we have about 30 some odd minutes left of this show, so let's jump into these player ratings and reviews real quick. Try and knock them out as fast as possible. Um, we'll just help. We'll hold off on like over analyzing each player's, um, this and that of their game. Just try to give the ratings as quickly as possible. Obviously, if there's one particular player that you want to speak on, or someone that stood out for you that you want to talk about, certainly do so. But we're gonna jump into this. Yeah, definitely, Sean. This is a unique. It's a unique place, I would say, on the internet. It's one of the few places that, especially since we are, a nice group of Reds here, we tend to respect each other. We don't always have the same opinions as each other. Rarely do we have the same opinions of each other of whatever we're talking about, but all the same, we can still create some type of discourse and be able to communicate what we're trying to say without getting personal or um, getting nasty as some people do, you know. So definitely, I hope that you join us again and you can bring a
Yeah,
friend.
great to see you, Sean. Good to see you
Yeah,
back again if you did enjoy it. And Sean, if you did enjoy it, man, don't just come back. Tell anyone else you know that might like the show. Tell them about it. Tell
yeah,
other people about it, you know?
yeah, because it is something like as in
Share it around.
again, we all have different opinions. We all have different takes um, on the game and on our team and what we should be doing for our future with the in parts with the team at least. And it's really about trying to have an actual forum that we can speak on it and be enlightened by each other, be able to enrich each other with knowledge. I've always said it out. If you look at what I say in the mission statement on my page, is that I have a decent background in football, but more so, I want everyone, all of our Reds, to have a real knowledge base to be able to enlighten and enrich each other, and always to be able to be a part of a strong community. Because us as a collective, that's when we are truly mighty. That's how I look at it. So, with that said, I am going to get this. I'm going to get a drink real quick, but I'll let Brian take over for 2 seconds. And so, because my throat is really, really parched for some reason. And then we're gonna hop right into this player ratings. If that's cool with you guys. So give me 1 second, Brian, if you don't mind. Brian and Lante, if you don't mind taking over for a second.
Claro.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
See that one
Brian.
there? This one. We got the keys, man. We got the keys.
Indeed, 12 fans getting kicked out. This is now the Irishman in the Lante show, okay? So ignore the sign there, okay? We're taking over. Thank you.
Yeah. Ignore everything that was said, Sean. It's about to get nasty. This guy was the defender, right? Liverpool was monitoring Simas early in this window. Now Brighton have signed him for 22 million. That's that defender, isn't it?
No, this is the young striker, the
Oh, the
Greek. They
young
were
striker.
hiding. Yeah, the Greek
Yes.
striker. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. 22 million. I suppose they leave Ferguson, go out on loan,
Yeah.
and they go and make a move. Tony Montana style, go out on the street, make a couple of moves, player here, player there.
There you go.
You know.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
Montana.
well, obviously, these guys, they don't. We're not looking at these kids for nothing. Um. Okay. Yeah. I suppose it's not finished yet. What do you think, Disassi going to Villa? I don't know about that. I'm assuming that's another loan as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because Villa are desperate. They've got injuries at the back. Now Carlos has got gone, and I think, who was it,
Yeah.
Mings? Got injured
Mhm.
there to play Kamara as a centre back versus Wolves the other day. He's a DM, so yeah, they
Yeah.
badly needed a defender. So I think they might try and get someone else in, maybe another defender. But if not, DRC
They've been
will be.
busy. Villa have
Yeah,
been busy. I know they've lost players, but do you see? It doesn't look like Arsenal are going to be coming back in for a Watkins bid. I mean, it'd be
no, they're
cheap.
never
Yeah,
gonna get. Yeah,
it'd be
they're never
cheap
gonna get
at this
Watkins.
stage.
Yeah, yeah. And then 151 they got Ranieri back, and then obviously, so I'm sure they'll just continue, and that's their problem. Yeah, I'll go at Arsenal. I don't think we're going to get Watkins anyway. I don't think Villa would sell him, and especially at this time now. And I think only if Watkins made a transfer request, if he put in
Mhm.
slapped him in, then we
Yeah,
have a different
exactly,
conversation. Yeah, but nah.
exactly, exactly. And what you also get with that as well is I've heard it mentioned before is the whole loyalty bonus thing. If a player requests a transfer, uh, they lose out on money, basically.
Oh,
Because if you
all
sell
right.
a player, oh yeah, if I go to you and I ask to leave, and you're saying this is an official request to leave, okay, so you want to leave the club, we're going to sell you, and we get 20 million quid. If we come to you and knock on your door and say, Ollie, we've just agreed to sell you, Watkins is like, yeah, but I never asked to leave the club.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we decided to sell you. He would be entitled to what they call a loyalty bonus. So if they
Okay.
agree to sell you without you asking to leave, because you haven't asked to leave, they're
Mhm.
selling you, you're entitled to a loyalty bonus, which could be 3, 4, 5 million pounds. That's something that never really gets brought up, which it is when you think about it. It's a small thing, but it's one of the reasons why it's always the last resort for a player to officially hand in a transfer request. Like they'll make all the noises in the background. They'll do all this but it's one of the main reasons why it's the very last thing that they'll do, because they're literally writing off money by doing it. Because
Mhm.
yeah, but it's only a minor thing. But yeah, sometimes it is that thing to force it through. Don't see anything happening there. Spurs have gotten well and truly shafted though today. If they can't sign a defender, and they've lost Dragoose and all that. Jeez, man, they've gone out and signed an attacker. You know, they gone
Yeah,
and signed. They got Richarlison, they got Werner, they got Son, they've got
yeah,
Kulusevski. They've got zero defenders, and they're buying an attacker from Bayern Munich. That's
yeah,
very that's very Spurs, isn't it?
yeah. That is Spursy. Yeah, it's not looking at the logistics of everything. That's true. Because at this
So yeah,
current moment, I'm just thinking when we play Spades on Thursday, we see him I think they'll play Van der Ven will be back because I know he was in the squad, but because he's come back from a long injury, medically they've rested him, so he'll play, and they'll play Danso as well. Sure, the new signing, so they'll be a little bit better. I'm sure. If not, then they'll play the great Archie Gray.
yes, the future, the future that is our Archie Gray. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I'm halfway up that hill. I may as well die on it. You join me if you coming up
I'm
the
coming
Archie
up.
Gray hill. Yeah,
I'm coming
cool.
up, bro. I'm
Yeah,
coming up, mate.
go,
I like him.
go for it.
I like him.
Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. We'll find a banner. We'll take all sorts of abuse for him. Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm just laughing as well. We're Red for Life is thinking, uh, is it a cheaper cost of living in Arizona? Not in Scottsdale, my friend. Not in Scottsdale.
oh yeah,
No, no. Yeah, it is a desert, but if you can pump some water in, yeah, it's yeah, yeah. 12 man goes to work on a horse. Definitely, he rides in out of the desert every day. But,
exactly.
yeah.
He just doesn't tell you lot in the chat. It's a
No, no,
real
exactly.
Arizona.
Yeah, he's out there. He's not he's not thirsty. He had to go out there and feed the horse. He had to go out there and water the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know he's going to get into the player ratings. We'll get into the player ratings. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's happened to him on his quest to find water. Maybe he
yeah,
does actually
exactly.
No,
get
I'm
that
here.
far.
I'm here.
Maybe the web.
I'm
Oh, he's
here.
back. Okay, cool.
Oh, he's back from the desert. Welcome back to
I
our
just
friend.
getting the ratings ready for you guys. I'm ready.
Cool.
Yeah. So get your people in the chat. Get your ratings riled up or whatever it is you want to say. But yeah, here come the numbers.
Here come the numbers. All right, let's get this in. Let's get this in. Because we got like a little like 25 minutes left. So, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. Easily starting off to I am going to say, let's begin with. Let me bring this down here. Let's begin with Ali. Let's bring Ali into this, Mr. Becker. What was your ratings for Ali yesterday? Made crucial saves, including a key save against Semenyo to maintain the clean sheet. What was your rating for Ali? Let's go Nolante, then Brian.
85.
85. Okay. How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, go with that. That's good.
Go with
85
that.
is good. No,
Oh,
82.
80, all right, 82 then. Okay. I had 86 as being my grade for him. Let me see what everyone says in the chat here real quick. Highlight's got an 83.
3.
I think that's the only one we got so far.
Chelsea
Yeah.
losing 1-0. The mighty Jared Bowen.
Indeed.
86
Strikes again.
punches. Yeah. Didn't have to face that many shots in the sense of that were on target, but definitely when he was called on to make a save, Ali stepped up and showed a little bit of what some of us were thinking that he was like a little rusty on, actually. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's
Exactly. That's
basically in agreement there.
exactly what it
84,
is.
85, 86,
Yeah.
85, 83.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali vote that was.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I mentioned it during the game. I think it was the only time I talked about him yesterday, Saturday. See, you've got me doing it now. It wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday.
Mhm.
I think he was when he came out for something, came out and blocked off something. I was like, it looked like the rust was gone a bit. He
Mhm.
just didn't
Mhm.
look. He had looked a bit rusty. There was one kind of maybe it's a one off. I'm reading too much into it, but there was one time he just came out and he closed someone down. It was just like, yeah,
Mhm.
someone's touched the brakes there and taken that layer of rust off. He's been
Mhm.
sitting for a few days, but now he's touched the brakes. We're good.
Mhm.
It just seemed like he was right back, but just that speed off his line, that kind of commitment. Um, Again, yeah, just hopefully he's now fit for the rest of the season, and that's that. But yeah, the rustiness I think is gone.
Yep. I agree. Agreed. Big up Max. And hello to Bernie. I didn't get a chance to say hi, Bernie. And big up Dara as well. I didn't say hello to Dara and Bonkers. Big up to everyone. Next on my list, then we have 80. I'll key in on an 86 for him, but I'm going to go to Trent Alexander-Arnold next as the player that we got to choose a rating for. Now he was substituted, struggled defensively at times, was substituted due to injury in the 70th minute. So he did get enough of a run to get a rating.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, a
What would
fair
you
rate.
a fair rating to? What would you have given Trent yesterday?
No, that's it.
55.
55. Okay. Brian?
56 from Bonkers, 65 from Sean, and he's being generous.
Hmm.
Uh,
60 from Bernie. I see that. 50
yeah.
from Dara.
Oh,
You can grade if you want to grade if you want to grade on a curve, Hyler. That's your preference or your prerogative.
I will go somewhere between the boys. I'll go 53.
Okay. I went with a 64 for my rating, but I think we're gonna have to settle in on something in the 50s, most likely.
Congratulations, Sean, on being probably one of the 5 people maybe ever to have given a higher rating than 12 man. So congratulations on that.
There you
No,
go.
He meant 65.
Max just want one better. He gave out. Oh, that's Ali. That was Ali.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, he's way undercut that. You want to
Yeah,
check
way
that next
high, way
comment.
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to check that. That's a 35.
Well, now I see. Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12.
That's way low. All right. 50. Let's settle on a 58 for Trent then. That sounds like about right. 58. Something in the 50s, like 58, 57, something like that.
Oh, by the looks of it, yeah. I wasn't saying
There
mine,
were
but
some
yeah.
60s. I wasn't alone with my 60s. But all right. Let's go with then Ibu. Ibu displayed some composure and strength, effectively managed the defense yesterday, in my opinion, at least. What are you giving Ibu, Brian?
62.
Oh wow, okay. How about for you, Nolante?
I wasn't impressed. He was nearly as bad as Trent, but just a little bit better. 58.
58?
Yeah.
52, Brian?
62.
60.
60.
Yeah, 62
Okay.
for Brian.
Okay. Bonkers
67
game
for
was,
Bonkers.
yeah.
50
50.
from Max.
Wow. Okay. I did not have him that low. I will be honest with you right now. I did not have him that
Sean
low.
with the 70. Yeah, they're going up. 65 for Bernie, 70 for Sean. Dar disagrees, wants to give him a 74.
Yeah.
Hylor give him a 72. So yeah, they're going up. They're going up.
Okay.
The average is going up at least.
Jared Bowen with the 1-0 lead for West Ham in that Chelsea game, 1-0, by the way. And I had my score being a 76 for Ibu. I gave him a couple extra points because he did get the clean sheet. That's probably why. I will admit that. Dar gave him 74. Hylor gave him a 72. 70 from Sean. 50, 67, 30. Oh, that's for Trent. 67, 50. Let's settle in on a 68, maybe.
I was going to say 67, so 68 is fine with me. Yeah, that's a bad spot on, I think.
That's so harsh. Ibu. I was getting. All right. Yeah, he blocked Clivert for that goal. Remember, he did 72.
Hold on, what block for the goal? I don't remember him blocking Clivert for the goal. What goal did he block? He can't be talking about the rebounds because Clivert just missed it. Just missed it.
Let's see. Let me see. Let me double check on that one.
Yeah, no problem. So,
I will see. Let me see.
sure.
What was it? Oh yeah, okay. He did. I think he did do one. He had it. There was 2 attempts he had. He had one that was like central, and Kanate had a block on it. That could have been a goal. To tell you the truth, if Kanate wasn't there, he's right about that. Happened in the 47th minute. Was in the 47th minute.
Oh, okay. That all right. Now I'm thinking what Healy said about the show. Now, okay, all right.
Yeah, the one you're talking, the one that he missed was in the 7th minute.
Yeah, the one that when he had the rebound and he screwed it over. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, but that's fine. Anyway,
we move.
Anyway. We move. Yeah. Ibu.
Definitely bonkers game. All right, so let's go on the VVD. VVD, I'll just say my score off the rip. I had him at the same as Ibu. I had him at a 76. I thought he obviously provided the leadership that he always does. Hyler was speaking on it earlier about how he's barking out orders and the likes as the captain, stability and defense, contributing to the team's clean sheet, obviously. So what would you have VVD at? And let's go, Nolante. What would you have him at?
He had a bit of a shaky 10 minutes at the second half. You got clean sheet 75.
75. Okay.
Yeah.
How about for you, Brian?
Just a job well done, nothing spectacular. 70.
Okay. I saw an 88 from Sean, 75 from Hylor, 75 from Bernie. Max gave him a 63. Wow, okay. 70 from Dara, 71. Max, you're going strong in the paint with
Max ain't happy.
Yeah, Max is not happy today.
Appreciate that. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
88 from Sean.
Interesting.
Yeah. 75 from Bernie. 75 from Hylor.
He really didn't have to get involved. It looks like he had 0 ground duels in this game.
That's what I'm saying. They went around him, man. There wasn't much on him in the game.
Yeah. There was 10 minutes in the
just
second half, Brian. He was a bit sloppy. Like I think he must have lost the ball one of the times when Bournemouth were attacking and the yellow card. He was a bit sloppy, but after that,
Mhm.
he got back with it when Bournemouth were attacking us.
Mhm. All right.
like they don't have a Chris Wood or an Isak, a tricky little customer in the middle. It's kind of all goes out the other sides. So I think he just had a kind of an uninvolved game more than anything else. It's just
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
I ain't happy with none of them, Max. I ain't happy with none of them.
Well, someone that I think some people should be happy with, someone that was much maligned, someone that maybe had his heir apparent being on display yesterday,
Yeah, listen,
and that
the next BVD.
is
Oh, Andrew Robertson. Oh, okay.
Andrew Robertson.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Offers
Nice.
support in attack and defense, maintaining balance on the left. I thought yesterday. I thought this was one of Robbo's better games this season. What'd you have him rated at? I had a pretty decent rating for him. So what'd you have him rated at, Brian?
No, I thought you were doing a joke there. Yeah, his next VVD's heir apparent. I was in Heisen, whatever they call it.
Oh
Watch.
yeah, no, I
Who
wouldn't
is?
do
I
it.
don't know him. I don't think Robbo one game at centre half. I don't think he's going to be the future there. That would be crazy. Robbo left back. It all went. This thing like it all went down the left hand side. Their left, most of it. There wasn't a huge amount down his side.
Had
Yeah, I
three
think he
three
kind of.
clearances, one block shot, one interception, one tackle.
Yeah, kind of definitely much more of a quieter game. So yeah, I kind of go nuts on it. I kind of go with the chat. Yeah, there's 68, 65, 67, 66. Yeah, I'll go with that. So I would say 67.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be in around that. Yeah.
All right. Delante? He's on mute. So I'll just give my rating. Go ahead, Delante.
No, I just thought Robbo was solid. He done his job, unlike Trent and Kanai on the right hand side when you're getting terrorized at times. He was solid, man. It was a better performance.
Exactly.
Very, very solid. Brooks didn't do much. Done his job. So I'll say 72. Much better from Robbo. Very solid.
Yeah. On
Very
top of that,
solid.
Robbo's pass was the pass that led to Cody getting the obviously getting the foul called him in the box.
Oh, the pen. Yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So 72. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
67. Sorry, I sometimes need to run. 67 is a good score for me. I'm not like if I thought he'd had a bad game, I'd be giving him 50. I'm just saying it's just sort of in terms of like the amount of work he had to do. I'm not going to go nuts. So yeah, he had a good definitely. Like I wanted him to start. I think he's our best left back, and yeah, I think he's a good game. But 67 to me is a good score.
Okay. Just like Sean noted, yeah, it is a little bit more like the uni grading, or at least the way I grade it. So I would have given him like a C plus. I had him at a 78. He also gave him a couple extra points because I gave anyone in our back line that had, or at least that ran the full 90, I gave them a couple extra points because they got a clean sheet. And I also gave Robbo a couple extra points because of the pass that led to Cody, which was a great pass. I thought if Cody gets a hold of that ball and isn't clipped, I think that Cody possibly or most likely would have put that away, and you would have been looking at an assist for Robbo rather than just a pass, just a pass that gets put as a pass. But anyway, I know I saw a lot of 60s. I know Nalante and I were pretty much the only 70s other than Sean. So I guess a 60. Let's go for a 68 or 68 for him. Be good.
I gave him 67.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
How about for Gravy? How about for Gravy? Let's go with you, Brian.
78.
Okay. 78. And for you, Latte?
Gravy did his thing. 81.
81. Well put. Yeah. That's spot on. Controlled midfield, effective passing, and ball control, I thought. So let's see what everyone else thought. 76 from Bonker, 69 from Max, 74 from Highlore. Okay. I had him at an 81 too, actually. I'm 81. I thought he was pretty solid the entire game.
100%.
76 from Bernie. Okay.
I think my 78 is about the average there, to be honest with you. 76,
looks like
74,
it.
76.
Yeah,
Max
looks like
around
it's okay.
78, I think will be a fair average.
Agreed.
28, 77.
We'll give him 78. He was.
Yeah.
I thought he was very good yesterday. Again, like
Same.
I said, I had him at an 81. All right, let's do Macca next.
Laka.
Yeah.
Not his best game, was it? Not his
No.
best game.
Not his best game. I think that's
No.
because, again, what you said earlier about Tyler Adams and
Max.
Whoa.
okay.
That's why we love you, Max. That's why we love you. Fucking up the average system since day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just saying, I thought that that it was definitely one where he was getting. They were trying to get into McAllister's head. Obviously, he did get a little bit animated and get a little bit agitated with the foul that was called. That he was getting, his shirt pulled.
He had to be taken off, though.
And,
He had to be taken off. Remember, because he was on the yellow. He had to be taken off.
Right.
It wasn't a good look. After kicking me.
Yeah. He was taken off relatively early. He was fortunate, possibly, to not get a second yellow in this game. But again, I thought he distributed the ball well, maintained possession under the pressure. I had him at a 70 for myself. What did you guys have him at again?
Do you want to
go?
Yeah, he's lucky not to be honest. He's a bit unfortunate to not to get sent off. He distributed well, ticked well, but nothing major. 65. 65
okay.
for him.
How about for you, Brian? 25 is crazy. Okay.
I just think kind of I think maybe he did lose. I think he got taken off because he's on yellow. I think he did lose that battle.
Yeah.
He'll tell you himself, I think. I think he'd tell you himself he lost that battle. But he just didn't max up, but he didn't they stopped him doing it, yeah. But sometimes that's part of it. Got to overcome it. And I just thought he was kind of a good Mac yesterday, but I think what you're saying, they tried to get into him, try to get under his skin, try to get into his head, and I think it worked.
Yeah,
I think it worked.
He was frustrated. He was definitely frustrated.
Yeah. And I think he'll regret that. I think he'd be looking, me getting taken off because I'm on a yellow. That's going to frustrate the shit out of you. Anyway, so I didn't think some people could say he didn't get into the game. Some people could say he wasn't allowed to get into the game. But either way, he didn't get into the game that much. So kind of a very, that to me would be a very 65 kind of performance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
All
fair.
right. Let's see. Maka was solid. Gave him a 50 from Sean, 75 from Bernie, 70 from Hylor. Yeah, these grades are all over the place. 25
They are, yeah.
from Max, 69 from Bonkers, a 75 from Dara.
66.
68.
66 to 60, 67.
All right. I gave him a 65. I'll just stick with that. 65.
Yeah.
65. All right. How about for Dom? How about for Dom? Dom had he demonstrated some creativity and some movement. He was contributing to the team's attacking prowess, but he also had an opportunity that he should have buried, and he didn't. But he still was active. He still was involved in a good bit of the play. He was 3 out of 8 for his ground duels. Only had one shot, but one shot off. He had 3 shots. One shot on target, one shot off target, and one shot was blocked. And he missed, obviously, that one big chance. So what would you say about Dom yesterday?
Yeah, I thought first half he was kind of in the game. Obviously, as you said about the shot. Second half, he kind of faded a bit for me. He done his usual running and work hard bit, Dom. He was a little bit better than McAllister, in my opinion. So good. 67 for me.
Okay. How about for you, Brian?
I will give him a 55. 55.
Okay.
55.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys are harsh. I'm closer to what Bernie gave him. I gave him a 72. Dom got a 70 from Bernie, a 67 from Hylor, a 45 from Bonkers, a 38 from Dara. That was harsh. Dom, not that good for him, he says.
With the 30.
30.
Yeah, Max.
Harsh.
Looking in the 50s.
Work rate was quality, not much else. 65 from Sean. I don't know.
I think 60 would be fair. I think 60 would be a fair average on that. I mean, some low scores, whether we agree with them or not. I'm just talking about I would call it average.
Yeah. I'm just saying that is a little harsh. I think if you look at his, he was 90% for his passing, 62 touches, 1 for 1 for his crosses, 1 out of 2 for his long balls. He created a big chance actually because one of the plays was actually helped along by him. 3 shots.
Your earlier stats weren't great either.
3 out of 8.
Yeah, great. You know, I think it kind of. I don't think he had a brilliant game, basically. So
was fouled. Had 1 foul, but was fouled twice. I mean, they were targeting him. Had 1 interception, 1 tackle. They were really targeting him with aggressive play, but all the same. All right, so 60, 62 or something. Is that what is it?
Yeah, 62.
Targeted. I don't know.
All right, let's move on then to a guy who's going to get a pretty high score, I think. He's pointing at you. Just find out what you're going to do. What you're going to do when the Egyptian king comes for you. Man of the match, possibly. Scored both goals, including a penalty and a curling shot into the top corner. What did you have for Mr. Salah? Brian, what did you have for Salah?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. How many times has he fouled?
Quite a bit,
Ooh,
4 or 5 times.
How many
Reckon.
times was he fouled, or how many times did they actually call it? It's a better question. But he was fouled 3 times.
No. Yeah, it's fouled 3 times. Okay. Hard one to call. I think it was a professional job. I don't think anybody really kind of was at peak level there, even Mo. So even what he did, I'm not going to go stupid high on it. 80.
Okay.
80.
How about for you, Malante?
This is a player I'm just going to elaborate on a little bit quickly.
Mhm.
I thought Mo, just take away the goals. I thought usually in certain games, if he doesn't score or get a goal, he's ghost. He goes ghost in games. I thought he was quite involved in the game more than usual before the goals. I thought he's trying to get in. He done a beautiful cross that Trent in another day should have scored. He's trying to get in and out with the Bournemouth defenders. His hold up play was excellent. I thought there's a couple of times he was getting manhandled and he held. People underestimate how strong Mo was, and then obviously the penalty again. He's missed penalties against Bournemouth, so it's a pressure penalty. And he scored, and then the goal was Mo standard. So for me, yeah, 86 for me.
Okay. How about what we see in the chat? What are people rating him in the chat? That's a question. 2 goals, 85 from Bernie. Salah got a 75 from Max. I think that's like his highest score all night. Bonkers with a 78.
Elaborate,
Yeah.
Max. Elaborate. I need to know, Max. You come up with new things every night. Goals don't count, assists don't count, and now we have a fake penalty.
What?
He's talking about Cody, I think. Maybe he's saying that Cody should have been a pen.
Oh, that's a pen all day.
Yeah. Oh, that's Mac's opinion anyway. That's fine.
No, I just look. I mean,
That's a pen all day.
Max, your mind intrigues me, Max. Goals don't count, assists don't count.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what is the thing that matters? It's it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I love it. Don't worry, I'm having a go at you, Max. I think it's intriguing, but yeah. You played in strike, as you say. No way penalty got stripped from his own feet. Yeah, but he was kind of. Oh, look, no one's saying he was hacked. Look, that was
No,
borderline.
actually, you know what?
Yeah.
If you want the
Contact.
honest, you want the whoops. If you want the honest, let me bring this down. Actually,
But he was moved.
Um,
He was, the defender didn't protest it. He
he
knew
didn't
he fucked
protest it.
up.
He actually said he did foul him.
He knew he fucked up.
No, he actually said he fouled him.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew he fucked up.
He goes. He. You can see him saying he. It was a penalty. He understood that it was.
Yeah.
He knew it was a penalty.
Tiny
And that's the
touch,
thing.
but that's all it takes, Max. Yeah,
That's
super
all it
soft. But
takes. I mean,
there's
like
no
if
version of.
it's not on.
Sorry, but
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
the best thing people say is that you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not.
Cody's
You
not.
can't be a
Yeah.
little bit pregnant. It's either a
No.
penalty or it's not. There's no such
And
thing as a
Cody,
soft.
exactly, Brian.
You know,
And Cody,
it's a
and
penalty
Cody's.
or it's not penalty.
Okay.
There's
12 doesn't
layers.
double up. Okay. No, I agree, Brian. And Cody's not a diver. Cody
He's not.
doesn't. You don't dive like that. You know what I
Nope.
mean? And the player and as Healy said, yeah, if you look at the reaction of the Bournemouth players, the player he touched him. He touched him.
Right.
I know he doesn't look. Yeah, I understand, but he is a pen. They've all confirmed it. Match of the day, everyone they've confirmed it, Max. But it's your opinion. That's fine.
Everyone's welcome to their opinions. Everybody likes. We spoke on that earlier, but that's the pen. It's just simply that. It's a pen. And only that, I mean, you know, it'd be different. You know what? The biggest testament of how you can tell if you can even have a leg to stand on to say it's not one Bournemouth player said no, that's not. You know, not one of them went over and argued.
But can I just say to what
Not
Max is
one.
saying? It's basically what Max is saying. What we're saying is, look, that's a pen, right? But what Max is saying is, to my mind, is it was a tiny little bit of contact. Yes, of course it was. That Bournemouth player had that kind of. It wasn't one of those. Oh, sorry, I hacked you down and I hurt you. It was one of those. Ah, for fuck's sake, I touched him. I caught him. I know that's going to be a pen. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, he didn't hack him down. He didn't. No, but he knows that he made enough. He's just kind of. I fucked up. It's one of those things because they all know that's going to be a pen. You know, we can agree, yeah, tiny little bit of contact, absolutely nothing. But everybody was there going, shit. You know, he knew as soon as he touched him, I'm after hitting him. Now he's going down, bang, that's a penalty. It's one of those things. It's not like he turned around going, sorry, yeah, I did that, I did that. It's more like, yeah, I timed it. But that's it, Max. That's all it takes, man. In the box, all it takes is a tiny bit of contact. As soon as there's contact, it's going to be given. It's going to be given. I don't think it was, like I said, I don't think it was soft. I just think it was like, we, that's going to happen every time. Basically, that's why we see when Semenyo hit the bar or hit the post against us, and he was just in our box, just dancing left to right. Why did nobody try and take the ball off him? Because they know the second they try and tackle him in the box, if they catch him, it's going to be a penalty. It just takes the tiniest little bit of contact. That's why Semenyo was allowed to go left, right, and then have a shot that hit the post because they're terrified to touch people in the box. Slightest bit of thing, down he goes, contact, penalty. Am I wrong? Is that not why? That's when I was looking at Semenyo dancing in our box. You can see them all just looking and going, I'm not going to tackle you because if I get it wrong, you're going down. It's penalty. So just stand off, and back Allison to save the shot.
Salah 86 from Hylor, 85 from Dara, 95 from Sean.
95. Jeez, Sean.
85 from Ernie,
4?
75 from Max, 78 from Bonkers. Mo had 3 defenders on him most of the time. That's the truth. He was definitely covered most of the game. Let's see. And I think that's all we have for him. So I gave him a 90. So, but we can settle in on like a 80, 87, I think. Of all those scores, they're all pretty much 80s, like mid 80s, if not in only 1 or 2 70s. Let's go to Cody, the man who got the quote unquote soft penalty.
Fake penalty.
I'm not going that far, but
No, that's
Blink play effectively in attacking in our attack. What would you give Cody in Saturday's game? Nolante, what would you give him?
It's a difficult one from the pen. He's okay first, but it wasn't his best game. But I think he's been playing non-stop, maybe a little bit of fatigue. 64.
How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, won't be far off that. Not quite. I was going to say 70, but so I'll say 68.
Okay. Let's see what everyone's giving him. 74 for Dara, 62 for Max.
Wow, Max. High score.
70 from High Lord. Got that penalty amongst other things. Yeah. 72 from Bernie. I actually had him on a decent score. I'm trying to think of why I had him at such a high score. Waiting for some other scores maybe to come in. Actually, you know what? All right. I think I know why. Obviously, he had one key pass, had a big chance creation. Only had one shot on target, but obviously he won the penalty, which was big. 3 out of 4. Oh, that's probably why I had him high. I had him at an 80, actually. He won 3 out of 4 of his duels, was 1 for 1 for his aerial duels. Was fouled twice, obviously, one of them being a penalty. Had a blocked shot. He was pretty engaged. He was decently engaged yesterday, despite like he might not. It was one of those games where like he wouldn't have maybe noticed it, but he had a solid game. Nothing to write home about, super write home about, but he had a solid game. All right, so let's give him a 70, 70, 73. 73. How about for Lucho? What would you give Lucho, Brian?
I almost feel I need to find out how many ground duels he won before I can give him a
National
proper rating. Yeah.
He was
That
4
seems to
out
be
of
the
8.
needle mover at the moment.
1 out of 3 for aerial duels, 4 out of 8 for his ground duels. He was involved.
Oh, 50%, eh? Okay. Involved. Great. Nice one. Thanks for being here. I'm only messing. Again, kind of a Gakpo type of game. Just good, but not super. I'm not going to give 80s and 90s.
2 clearances, 1 tackle, was fouled twice.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. No, sorry. No, I just mean I'm not going to go high on the attackers.
1 out of 2 for his dribble attempts. Created one. Did miss a big chance, but created a big chance as well.
Yeah, that's like a 60s kind of thing for me. That's a high 60s, C plus. If I got that. Yeah, that's quite enough game, really. I think lots of players just like Diaz, Gakpo, Mac, Dom. To me, they're all in that like 68 to 70 kind of thing. They did okay, but so either score, I'll give them 68.
Okay. Bernie said she's going to do a max and go for 65. Dara, gotta love Lucho, 76 from him. Hyler got
Max is going to do a max and go 40.
I know. I'm already prepping for it. Oh wow, good call. Good call. 40 from Max. That's rough.
Chelsea 1-1.
Yep, that's
Chelsea 1-1. Who scored for Chelsea?
55 from Sean.
Really? Okay.
What are you going to give him, Monte?
I thought he was more involved in the play than Cody. Aerial duels, he kind of struggled, but he worked hard and linked up well. He kind of was part of the counter attack that led up to Salah's second goal. So I'll give him 68.
Okay, that's decent. Good. That's a decent score. I was not expecting that one. I gave him a 70 yesterday or Saturday. Wow. 40 and 55 definitely bring down the average.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's harsh. I don't think he had a 60 of a game or something.
Looking at that from the chat, the answer is looking at about a 60. Unfortunately, 12. That one.
Well, let's see. 76, 65, 67. 40 and 30, the 40 and 50 definitely 55 bring him down, but
56 from Bonkers.
56. Okay, Bonkers is
Ouch.
like, yeah. Bonkers is like, you think you're getting to that, getting above water? Nah, man.
Give him a 60 and move on.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go to
It's only a rating.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on. Substitutes. Let's go with Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones. Everyone's ratings were obviously all noted. Curtis Jones. I thought could have been. I wouldn't go as far as player of the match, but he definitely was a very big part of the reason why we won yesterday's match, especially in the play that I showed on the tactical breakdown. I had him at a 71 though yesterday. What did you have him at, Nolante?
Same.
71. All right.
Yeah.
Brian?
Definitely not man of the match. No, can't give him. Yeah, how many minutes did he have? He came on from Mac because Mac was going to get sent off, so he got more minutes than probably the rest of them.
It's the first substitution.
Yeah, he probably, what, he got 25, 28 minutes, something like that?
No, he got 30 minutes.
30 plus.
30 minutes. 30
35.
minutes, yeah. 60. Yeah, 60.
Okay. Game of 60. The guy got the only assist of the game. He gets a 60. I got you.
Well, no, he only played half an hour, so I say
I know he played half an hour. It was like, and was part of our.
I know he got the assist. But I gave him as many points as
60. Ouch. I'm joking.
Yeah, but I gave him as many points as I gave to people who played 90 minutes.
Okay.
I'm balanced. I'm fair. I think he had the best. Look, they're my numbers, man. That's what I work.
Yeah, no, I know, but notice that your numbers are exactly what Max's, so that says a lot. Anyway.
No, that just says that Max has had a cogent, a rating. I'm just saying, half an hour, he got an assist, 60.
Okay. All right.
Like
60, 62 from Dara, 68 from Hylor, 62.
I thought this was a free country. I thought we were allowed to speak our mind.
Free country. That's why I said, yeah, that's free country. You said what you said, and I said what I said. That's a free country. That's how it works.
Yeah, you're like, no, you're wrong, dude. No,
yeah, that's called being a free. Yeah, that's our free country, bro. That's our free country.
Let's move on, Darwin. Darwin.
Come on.
60. Average score.
I'd say his average was
65.
like 60. I had him
60,
68, 62.
65.
I'd say 64 is his average. Let's say 64. 60, 62. That hurts. Cujo. That hurts, bro. That hurts. And let's move on then to Connor Bradley. Obviously replaced Alexander-Arnold. I thought he probably should have replaced Alexander-Arnold possibly even earlier than he did. Held his position well, contributed to maintaining the clean sheet. Obviously, what do you think? What do you think Connor deserves from yesterday? Nolante, what do you think he deserves?
He came on 20 minutes, 22 minutes plus stoppage time. He was solid. So he was 60 for me. He was solid. Done his bit.
Brian?
Yeah, 55, 20 minutes. Did well. So comes on to 50, starts apart, does okay. So +5, 20 minutes, 55. That's why I'd work it. So came on, played well.
Okay.
Oh, Max. Hey, look at this chat. This is very interesting. The answers.
Yeah, it's 64 from Max, 72 from Bernie, 70 tackled well and accurately, says Hyler. 69, he should have come on at halftime. Could have. He very well could have. I didn't think that Trent was having a really good defensive. They were targeting his side, and he wasn't playing that well defensively yesterday or Saturday. Keep telling it yesterday. I had Connor at a 68. Let's call it a 70. I think a 70 is accurate.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Solid 70, Sean. Okay. We're coming up to the last person we're gonna rate. There's one other person that got subbed in, but
Not enough for rating.
yeah, he got in for
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
2 minutes, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
put no to the source. But Darwin got in at the same time Connor did, so he's got enough for a rating. Let's see what you guys think of Darweezy. I don't think Mary is a part of the chat, so we're not going to have the max antidote to the ratings tonight. So for this rating, what do you have? But I know Max does like Darwin as a player. What do you have for Darwin, Brian? To rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, yeah, 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 20 minutes got involved, a little bit more than Bradley did, so 60.
Okay. Okay. Malante, what would you say?
64.
64. Okay.
Yeah, 64.
60, 64. Okay. Let's see. 63 from High Lord, 72 from Max, 59 from Dara, 65 from Bernie, 65 from Sean. It's Dara, it's his rating. He can rate as he please. Everyone can rate as you please.
Well, unless it's me, apparently. Unless it's
no,
mine.
you can
then
raise your please. I mean,
time.
you can raise your please. It's I mean, you're on the panel, so you can held to a higher standard, I guess. I had him at a 66. I think he provided some fresh legs in our attack. Made some direct runs to create space. So I had him at a 66. I think I'll just stick with my grades of a 66. So that's about average. 63, 72, 59, 65, 65. And all right, last was Endo, but we're not. I have him in here, but I just wanted to say big up Endo. That's all I want to say. So, shout out to our samurai. And who's your man of the match? Who's your man of the match? I have Arnie ready for Arnie coming up after the man of the match, but who is your man of the match?
Oh, fuck off, Chelsea.
Yeah, there you go. 2-1.
Here's what it is.
Yeah, you know what's coming. Man of the match for you, Mo, Bernie, Mo for Dara. Ali gets the man of the match for Max.
With a 94.
Yeah. I saw that he gave him a 94 earlier. Milante, who's your man of the match?
Yeah, Mo.
How about for you, Bri?
Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams. You really were taking.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, I'm just doing it for the fucking, but yeah, no, I thought he was. Look, I thought he was a presence. He made himself known. I don't think any of our players can stand there and go, I was the best player on the pitch there yesterday. But Mo goes out and makes a difference. And puts the ball in the back of net like that second goal. We're not talking enough about it. If somebody else did that, it'd be like, what an incredible finish. But it's Mo. It's just like what he does, gets the penalty.
Yeah.
So it's obviously he's man of the match, definitely for us.
Yeah,
You know,
that
because
was
we
an
won 2-0, he
incredibly
scored both
well
goals.
taken, well taken,
Yeah.
well placed. I mean, there was very little room for him to find a alley for him to put that ball, and whatever little room there was, he found it and was able to put it through for that goal. Definitely big. Curtis
He's built
Jones,
a career on it. Built a career on it at Liverpool, doing
yeah,
that, cutting in, bending it in.
yeah,
So yeah, typical Mo clutch, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Um,
Give it credit
but I
to
was
Curtis
impressed.
Jones. Or at least some of us give him credit to Curtis Jones, but
Yeah.
I got you.
But I was impressed by I was impressed by Tyler Adams. I'm not just kind of on a wind up as well. I am kind of on a wind up, but I was genuinely impressed by him. I thought, he did really well. Um, but yeah, Clivert, Semenyo, full of energy, full of running. But it just, to me, that's a compliment to us. So we went there, we dealt with their threats and all their stuff and all their bits and pieces. Came
Yeah,
away with a really ultra professional 2-0 win.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Man of the match is certainly going to be Mo Salah. How would you rate Arnie?
Ooh, that's it.
Clean sheet, got the win. I thought his subs were very tight at one point, to be fair. I've given them
Acting was
8.
good. The Mac
Yeah,
sub was good,
the
wasn't it?
match. Yeah, that was good. That was on the point. And taking off Cody, which was great because he weren't great. Maybe putting Lewis on the wing and Nunes and even Bradley. Well, Trent had the injury in it, so I guess he probably wouldn't have taken Trent off, or who knows. But yeah, I've got to give him credit for the subs as well. So 83 for me. And he done tactical tweak. If you look at the second half with Graven Birch coming more to the right hand side to support Mo and Trent before he's injured because they were dominating. So yeah, so I'll give him an 83 for Slot.
Brian, what would you rate our gaffer?
Yeah, I think Nolante summed up very well. I'll give him 8 out of 10, 80. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. 85 from Bernie. I'll put up your quote in a second. High lore. 85 from Bernie. Looks like he's going to get an average around like 80. Let's give him 84. I had him at an 83. I thought that he should have subbed off Trent earlier. I think he should have subbed off. I should have subbed off Trent earlier. I think that despite the fact that we were lucky to get Maka off without getting him a second yellow, and then having to play possibly without him as with 2 yellows for a red. I thought he should have taken Maka off earlier too. To be honest with you, probably should have taken both of them off at the same time actually. So, but earlier at least than he actually did. But again, I gave him an 83 because despite that, he did get put out the right lineup that actually did do some type of being able to handle the pressure of Bournemouth, which is not an easy thing to do. Yeah, Dara says the same. Trent should have been sold off at halftime. It was going to be a tough game, and Slot handled the players resting earlier in the week, so she gave me 85. Max says he gives Slot credit if he puts McAllister and Dom. I don't know what that is. I'll just say he's a 60. All right. And Hyler thinks the man of the match should have been Arnie Slot for his tactical strength, maybe even didn't have the best players on the pitch at the time. So yeah. And I get that. He's saying the paradox in the match, as good as Kirkcast is, and despite that, even Slot having to play him extra focus, it was down our right side that Salah made this match. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, our first goal obviously was initiated from that left-sided approach to it with the with the attack put on by Robbo and Cody. But I get what you're saying. We definitely tried to initiate a lot of our attacks through our right side. Some of them came from the middle too, though. Obviously, the one I showed you with Cody. Excuse me, not with Cody, with Curtis Jones and Nunez. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Max's lowest rating was, Tara, by the way. But there you have it. We have Mo Salah as our player of the game. We have a 83. I think we can probably take as an average for Arnie Slot. And we have a 2-0 clean sheet win for us as we sit atop the league. We're going to have obviously a League Cup match coming up. We're going to have a FA Cup match following that. And then it's back to the Premier League, back to the Prem again, as they would say, right? And then we'll have a big derby matchup against Everton, which will be certainly something to put us at test. But what we need to do, and that is is allow for the panel to give a shout and say what they'd like to say as a parting words or last words for this episode. So I'll let Brian say what he would like to say to the people.
Yeah, happy transfer deadline day, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, not a lot. No, I was just reading through the comments there. Yeah, the usual. Look, thanks for being here. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate the people that are here every single night in, night out, time in and time again. So
the old and the old and the new, too, by the way.
Yeah, the old and the new. Sean, new person in tonight. It's great to see that. So anybody that is here, you know the drill. We'll be back again tomorrow. We don't stop. We just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Definitely so. Nalante, would you like to say something to the people before we allow for them to enjoy the rest of their Monday evening or Monday morning or afternoon, whichever it is that we're reaching you in the world?
Oh, yes. And just obviously big up to the chat. Big up to everyone. Once again, big up the host, the man from Arizona, 12th man, the host of the podcast. Catch you if you can in these states, looking for that Japanese sushi. And big up the Irishman, fine Irishman. He can debate with you all night. He can debate with you all day, but we'll put it to you straight and blunt. And I'll just leave the chat with a little something like this: 7 o'clock, club and slot on the drop top, cruising the street. Yeah. I'm out. Good night. Peace out, people.
Good night. Yeah, definitely. Big up to everyone joining us, and definitely enjoy your evening, morning, afternoon, whichever it might be, whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this on the replay, please do leave a comment. Hopefully you'll leave a like as well. Hope you enjoyed it. And let me bring up also this as well. This is, if you get an opportunity, definitely go to the Irishman's channel. This is his channel as well. Be sure to click that. And other than that, we wish you the best. Up the Reds as always, people. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you and good night.